Did you watch the new Anne Hathaway movie?
Yeah, last night.
Oh my god.
Wasn't it really bad in a
so
good way?
bad. It was so bad.
good.
I love like watching like a Hallmark movie like that, and then immediately or not immediately, just being able to predict everything that's going on. And my boyfriend, I do that, and he's like, how did you know that was gonna happen? And I'm like, how the fuck did you not know that was gonna happen? And it's like the most predictable thing ever. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna buy her the art from her friend's gallery, and then she opens it, and he's like, how did you know that? And I was like,
wait, they have to get together. Like the end had me guessing.
no. At the end, I was like,
In the book, they don't get together.
Oh, you read the book?
No, I just.
that's probably better. I didn't even know it was based off a book. I thought it was.
It's based off of a One Direction fanfic.
Well, that's what I thought. I said to him, I was like, Henry, this is like a Wattpad.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's a Wattpad? And I was like, it's like a fan fiction. He's like, what's a fan fiction? And I was like, oh my God, why are you watching this? Like, you literally have no idea of what's going on. He was like, this is like Harry Styles. I was like, yeah, I think that's the point. He's like, it's literally like One Direction. I was like, yeah.
He took the long way around.
Yeah. He tried to do something on its own. I don't know. I guess I watch a lot of films.
I just have an eye for plot. I
guess. I think I just know.
Thank you for that beautiful intro. I was recording all of that.
Great.
Hi, this is Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna. Today I'm joined by renforshort.
Hello.
I just put it together in my head that it's Ren because Lauren.
Yeah.
And that is kind of embarrassing on my end.
You know what? That's typically how it goes, but there are people that I will have known for a long time that, will be like, oh, that's what it is. And I'm like,
where'd you choose that name?
Yeah. I don't know. It just kind of came to me in a dream.
Did people call you Ren growing up?
No. Literally no one's ever called me that.
Awesome. That's great.
I honestly saw it on Twitter when I was younger. Someone's name was Ren. And then their bio was Lauren or something. And I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted a short form for my name. And I never had one.
Yeah, and it's just Lore.
Yeah, Lore. Come on. Lore. Yeah. What's the lore of lore?
What? I don't know. You tell me. I guess that's why we were here.
I guess I don't know.
Well, when did you move to LA? You're from Toronto, yes?
Yes.
Ish.
So, I kind of still, I do half-halfsies. So
okay, bi-coastal, but
yeah, bi-coastal.
Yeah.
Bi-coastal. I have been here more regularly since probably 2021, 2022.
Okay, decent amount.
I don't even know what year it is.
24.
Sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, I've been here for a minute and I like it.
Do you actually?
I do. I didn't
either. First 6 months, I was like, I'm going to go maybe to Portland or something.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go and not be here. I mean, there's still moments where I'm like, yeah, this is not a long game for me.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of just about finding where I wanted to be and where in this gigantuous, massive, never-ending city was the right place for me to be.
Yes, because I lived in West Hollywood my first year.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now I live in Studio City.
Yeah.
And that is
love Studio City.
Such a different living experience.
Yeah.
I was truly ready to go.
Oh my God, it changes everything. I live in Santa Monica, so I live around all old people.
Yeah.
They're all geriatric and I love them so much. And they're just the best.
Oh, I love that.
They don't bother you. There's a
they don't
woman in my
be
building.
Bothered, yeah.
No. The woman in my building who's turning 100 in June 6th.
Ooh.
I actually am obsessed with her.
You have to do something for her.
I'm going to get her. I'm going to be out of town, but I'm going to do a flower delivery for her or something.
That's adorable.
She's iconic.
Wow. Okay. I guess I need to think about Santa Monica.
It's the best.
I was just there yesterday and
it's so far, though.
I didn't love it. Yeah.
Well, where did you go?
That's a good point.
Did you go to the pier?
Kind of. Do you know the Brandy Melville filming things that they've been doing in their studio?
Wait, what?
Do you know the brand Brandy Melville?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
No, of course I do.
They've been, for some, I don't know why. I don't know what reason they decided to do this, but they made a music studio at their corporate location and they've been
sorry.
they've been doing live filmings there So I went there to do that, and it was in this like back alley. They were like, you actually can't access it from the street. Like you have to go behind Trejo's Tacos.
Where the hell is Trejo's Tacos in Santa Monica?
Well,
Babes, I don't know where you were in Santa Monica, but that's not my Santa Monica.
it was like somewhere off Broadway, question mark?
Question mark, I don't even know where that is.
Okay, right.
Exclamation mark. And also, wait, I was thinking of that. I like some of the Gogh stuff, but what the fuck did you know about Polaroid? When you said like the studio thing, I was like, I like some of the Brandy stuff. JK, no, I don't. But what the fuck? Nah.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't think I can swear.
Oh, yeah, yes, you can.
What the fuck do they know about music?
They don't, actually. It
I'm
was.
sorry.
I don't know. I have to figure out why they've been doing that as a thing, but it was funny
Yeah.
in general. But
Wow. Well, you're gonna have to come back to Santa Monica.
I will.
Because that's not right.
But you grew up in.
Sorry.
Did you actually grow up in Toronto?
Yes, I grew up
Okay.
in Toronto.
Because I feel like people say that, but then it's actually not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up kind of this is so much fun, this little arm. Okay, I grew up like in kind of the center of the city. So, yes.
How did you like that?
I loved it. I still really love Toronto. I think it's a really cool city for anyone who hasn't been. It's very, very. It has everything. It has everything. There's every cuisine you could imagine. It's very like culturally diverse, and it's just like a cool city. I think they need to fix the roads, but that's my notes.
You should tell them.
I will write a letter to the city
To
planner.
Toronto.
Okay, let's stop making things one lane. Anyways,
I'll let them know about that.
Yeah.
Next time when I visit for the
Yeah.
first time.
but I will say Toronto's cool in that it is a smaller city than LA is, and it feels a little bit more community oriented. And I think for like, arts in particular, it's Canada, I mean, as a country is very behind artists, and there's like grant programs where they'll give artists grants to kind of like create music
Oh,
from the
wow.
government. It's like doesn't need to be paid back, and like I've used them. They're really helpful. And I don't know, that like Canadian radio plays like mostly Canadian artists. It's like very, so it's good for that. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting that I'm so like floored by the fact that the government would be handing out money
Oh yeah.
for artists.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like artists end up having to like pay more taxes and stuff in America. And
Oh yeah.
oh wow,
Yeah. It's pretty cool
That's
that they
dope.
do that. Yeah.
Well, if someone stopped you on the streets of Toronto
Okay, yes.
and said, "Oh, are you an artist? What song should I listen to of yours?"
I would say save yourself. I'm kidding. I would say okay, wait, so we're starting with
This is the appetizer
So this is
to
the-
renforshort.
appetizer to run for short. Yes.
This is like if someone had never heard your music before, where would you want them to start to hopefully like rope them in and they have to check out everything else?
I think I would maybe start with a little I Drive Me Mad, which is like, kind of like a bit of an older song. But I think that a lot of people kind of joined my universe after that song came out.
Yeah, she had a moment.
Feeling bad about shit I didn't do. So dramatic, panicked, I got pre-traumatic. Stress 'cause nothing happened yet, but it did in my head. I drive me mad. I drive me absolutely crazy. I feel bad.
Yeah, I think it's just like I think it's a very raw song, and I think it's definitely different, when, considering a normal song structure and how they're typically one tempo throughout. This one's not that. And I think that is kind of interesting. It feels artistic and it feels raw. It feels like something that could kind of encapsulate what my other songs kind of feel like.
Would you say that's more of like a feeling thing, a lyrical thing, or like sonically, or all of those?
Yeah, I think mostly lyrically. I think, yeah, a little bit sonically. I definitely like to play around a little bit more with like live instrumentation, and that one was a little less like, I guess, live, but it was kind of made to sound a little more live. So I think it's definitely like a good embodiment of other stuff.
Yeah, it's a good gateway.
A good gateway. It's like, oh no.
How did the song come about? When did you write it? What was the inspiration?
I wrote it. Okay, actually. So I'm painting the picture.
Paint it.
Yeah. So I was in Toronto and the Raptors were just, this is sports stuff. So playoffs, they just were basic. Okay. I'm just going to say, I don't know anything about sports.
You had me.
I'm going to say some words. And if anybody who listens to this likes sports, I would skip past this because this might be offensive. They were like ending the playoffs or something. Is that right?
I believe that.
They were like doing really well because we had this player named Kawhi Leonard. That's all I know. Okay. I just said that because I knew that. That has nothing to do with the story, but the Raptors thing does. So Toronto was going crazy because Toronto is the Raptors are the only basketball team that represent all of Canada. It's the only Canadian basketball team.
Okay.
Toronto Raptors. This thing's on, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they can see me pointing, going Toronto Raptors. Okay. So basically, the city was going crazy, and I was just finishing up. I was doing an online school program because extra credit.
Cute.
Yeah, classical civilizations. Love to see it. And I was doing this project that was due the next day, and I had these writers from New York fly out, like a writer and producer, Jesse Fink. Shout out Jesse Fink. Shout out Pom Pom.
Woo.
And I totally was just like losing my mind. My grandfather was really sick, and there was just a lot of shit happening. And I went into the studio and I was like, yeah, no, I came in with a massive Bristol board. What do you call that here? Like a cardstock board, big board.
Oh, yeah, like a poster board.
Poster board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I thought it was something different, but I don't remember. And I was doing my project and trying to write something, and then I started crying. And like,
nice.
Literally had an anxiety attack. I was like, I can't breathe.
Awesome.
And I was like, I don't want you guys to have come here and we not and us not have gotten anything. And so we were like, okay, let's just pull through. And so I was like, why don't you just write about, like, why aren't we writing about what's going on right now? And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. That's maybe what we should be doing. So we did. And, you know, we thought, why don't we just make this kind of feel like make this a 360 experience, like a 4-dimensional. You remember those movies where you sit in the chair and you move, like that vibe, but with
Like
music.
you're going mad when you're listening to it too. Yeah.
So yeah, the tempo change is kind of supposed to like symbolize your heart rate going, like how you feel when you're kind of having a panic attack, and the kick drum is like getting louder and speeding up and whatever. Like that's your heart, you know, it's your heart. So that was kind of how that happened. And maybe that's the reason I brought up the Raptors was because the city was crazy. So like that's the picture that I'm painting.
There's like a tangible craze.
Yeah,
there.
you can see what's going on if I give you that background. So
Mercury is in retrograde, but it's actually the Raptors.
It's
in the playoffs.
Renegading.
Oh no, not that.
Could still do that by heart. Anyways.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's actually all my questions.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks.
No. And then when that song sort of like took off and people started to join your universe.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think it just actually,
Oh no.
no. You know what happened? Shane Dawson tweeted about it.
That's great.
Well, you know what? Some good things can come from really bad places.
Yeah. So
and
So that's what
That's
happened.
fun.
Yeah. And so like a lot of people would listen to it. So
Listen, bad people have good music taste sometimes, and that's fine.
I know.
That's fine. Honor the start, leave it
I'm like,
behind.
is this controversial? Yeah.
You
So
didn't ask him to.
I know. But it was very helpful. So I guess a lot more people found it, and then Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park found it and was like, yo, I'd love to like do something with this, and he like ended up remixing it, and then a lot more people found it. So it was kind of just a really natural growth, and I liked that. It felt very off, well, besides the tweeting, it felt very offline, and
Yeah.
kind of just like as natural as it can be nowadays. Felt as natural as it could be.
Yeah. That's a very rare experience these days.
Yes.
Because usually it's like, okay, the TikTok takes off and now we have to build off of the momentum. And it's
Yeah.
like an anxiety ridden experience rather than like, oh my God, someone found the song and they like it.
Yeah, and like, yeah. Yeah, I think that was like the last real moment in my life. Kidding.
Except for now because you just started running and now you feel real again.
You're right. I actually did say that. So I hadn't run in like 8 months. And yesterday I ran 3.6 miles, which I was really proud about.
You didn't have to flex on me like that.
Yeah, no, but I had to because I actually took like 3 pictures on my phone of the distance because in case one got deleted and then the other one like disappeared into the cloud, I would be like, someone has to see this. Someone has to know this really happened. So yeah, 3.6. I actually kept the treadmill running because it was at 3.59 and I kept it running for like 1 second and then moved to 3.6. Sorry. Yes, I'm trying to get in shape for tour again.
Well, tell me about tour. Where are you going?
Yeah, so I'm going on tour and I'm playing more cities than I ever have.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm nervous. I want to see people. And I think I've been deprived of human connection for a second. And I think that that's kind of crazy considering like human connection just started being a thing again kind of recently.
Why were you deprived? Because you were in like EP mode?
I know. Well, yes, but I'm also just lazy. So like, I don't know. No, but like I find that like playing shows is the strongest, like what I find to be the most fulfilling form of human connection, like meeting people that you wouldn't normally just like meet out on the street or like at a bar or like at a party, whatever. There are people from different cities and different countries and all over the world that you get to interact with, and you have this like one common thing that you share, which is like the love of music. So definitely like people you meet at shows or like in artist communities and fans and everything, I think is really cool. So I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah, I think it'll just be a good time, and I'm working out pretty far in advance. So like, I'm not going to be out of breath for you.
Well,
So-
I feel like we always end up talking about Chapel Roan on this podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But her video of her just like jogging in place and singing those crazy notes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
It's
well, you
iconic.
convinced me I have to get in shape.
It's iconic. We love Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
I thought it was Chappelle.
And that's okay. That's all right.
I thought it was Chappelle.
It's
Sorry.
spelled like that. It's fine.
Yeah.
So you're getting ready to go on tour to celebrate your EP.
Yeah.
That is dropping when we're recording this in
Yes.
3 days.
Yes.
Are you excited? How do you feel?
I feel excited. I feel very excited. I feel
You're really selling the excitement.
No. Okay. I do feel very excited. I think I know I am very excited. I am very excited. I'm nervous. Nelly over here.
Why?
I get nervous about everything. I think because I care so much about what people think. Honestly, I'm being so vulnerable here. I care so much about what other people think, and I definitely want people to like it. And obviously, I've been sitting on this music for a very long time. So,
How long?
very long is like probably like no. I've been writing for a while, so I'd say it's kind of all come together over the past year, which
That's a decent amount of time, though.
Yeah.
A lot can change about the kind of music you're making. And then I feel like the longer you hold on to it, the further it feels from you.
Yeah,
too.
but I still like the thing about these songs are that I've held them for a year. I haven't tried to like change things up, which means that I think they kind of withstand the test of my time, at least because I get so bored of things so fast and kind of move on. And I felt very connected to these songs, and I am very excited for people to have them. I just can't even like it, for some reason my brain can't even comprehend that people are going to have them. So I think for me, I'm like, I am very excited. I'm so excited, but like to me, I'm like, that's not really happening. So
you need to like witness it happening, and then you can feel everything other than nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would be a song that sort of represents this like EP era of your life? The entree.
On the EP or
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I think probably Getting Over You, not like, it's definitely a little bit of a diversion from the first 3 songs that have been out.
But tonight, I ain't over you, over you. It's alright, it's alright. Nothing left to lose.
But it feels very, it has a perfect mix of like happiness, happy in a way, and like, so, no, I don't want to say melancholy, but a little bit like, it feels like an empowering song. I think that's what I'm looking for. It feels empowering in a way that doesn't like suck. And like the way that I feel like I can do empowering when I don't feel very empowered a lot of the time, is it felt like a challenge, but I think that it's a really fun, special song, and it feels a little bit different than other stuff that I've put out before, and it feels like a growth, and it feels like just something you can like play, you know, before a night out, or like play in a group of people, where I feel like the other 3 songs are very much like, I'm gonna listen to this alone.
Yeah. Well, what were you empowering yourself through?
I think it was kind of just thinking about, well, it's called Getting Over You. Yeah. So it's about like getting over a person and kind of finally letting them just be gone for good.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, planning that out. So like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have fun, and you're not going to be my problem anymore. It's kind of the gist of that song. And I think it's kind of like holding yourself accountable while also understanding that this person was not right for you. And
because like retroactively or retrospectively, I feel like you can see only the good in people.
Yeah.
And like totally romanticize
that.
Yeah.
100%. And it's funny because like the next song on that project is literally about that.
Oh, love.
So you guessed it. Yeah, it's definitely hard to see past the bad things initially, but I think, yeah, this is like, you know, a few months post breakup when you're like, oh my God, you actually were not a great person, and you were just not right for me.
Yeah.
And it takes you to kind of be out of that situation and out of that relationship to really come to terms with that and really understand that that's where you were in that relationship. So, I mean, it could be romantic, it could be a friendship, it can be with literally anybody or anything. It's kind of just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said sonically this is a little bit more of like an upbeat, maybe before going out song.
Yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to when you were making the EP as a whole?
So, okay, I listened to everything. There was a period of time where I just stopped listening to music for a bit.
Really?
I was like, I don't, like right now, for some reason, I'm just not feeling like, I think it was because I felt like I wasn't able to really create as authentically as I wanted to, that I found it like painful to kind of listen to music and be like, this is like great music because this is authentic, and this is like who these artists are, I felt like I didn't really have that, and like in myself, and just there's so like I don't know, there's so many factors, but
I totally hear that. It's sometimes kind of like shameful to put music on and be like, I'm not making something like that.
Yeah.
Or just comparison in general.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I felt. And that was a little bit of a bummer. And I knew that I like kind of had to make music I felt like to please other people, but it wasn't for me. So I think kind of getting back to writing for myself and what I know that my listeners will like, because at the end of the day, that is what is authentic, because the best thing that I can make is what I know. And that's the same for anyone. Like you the best thing you'll ever make is what you know. And that's like a really, I think, important thing to remember. It's kind of hard to shapeshift and whatever, and you don't need to do things to please other people. Yeah.
I am a people pleaser.
Me too, to a fault.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that this was kind of just, you know what? I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. So I came into the session being like, fuck it. We're writing like a fucking ABBA song today, which is so not what I do. And it didn't end up necessarily being that, but it definitely feels more like disco-y kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And different. And I was like, that was fun to experiment with that. And there's things we tried adding like trumpets and like live horns and stuff, and that didn't work, but we tried. And I was like, at least we tried, because that felt like something that we could do. But
I'm sure you captured like the feeling of that vibe, just without like the sounds that you had intended to use.
Oh, 100%. I think we did. And I definitely like, for something to be pretty different, it had to feel perfect for me. And like by my standards, like for my project, it had to feel like it fit, and it felt like it had to embody what I was trying to do. Like I wouldn't just put it out if I was like 95% sure that or it was 95% close to the idea that I had when I went in. Yeah. It was like, this has to be 100% there. So
did you write the EP, like, did you mean to write this collection of songs to go together, or are they kind of like scrapbooked?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I think like Hurt Like It Should, honestly, was written maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that one was old. But the rest of them, when I wrote Serpentine, I was in London, and that was kind of where we started. Okay, we're going to make a project. This is going to be an EP. And, you know, if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 songs, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And just wrote. And, you know, I wasn't like, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to make all slow, sad ballads. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Because they don't want to. And I'm not just going to make all up-tempo, fun, blah, 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 blah. Because, again, I don't want to do that. I want, like, variety, and I want...
Yeah.
I want some difference and some, my brain's not finding words right now, but
that's okay. Were there any like themes that sort of tied the songs together?
I think a lot of it felt like new beginnings, whether they were good ones or what in the moment felt like bad ones or like not beneficial ones. I think it's all just about new beginnings and clean slates, and, you know, kind of coming to terms with who I am as not a musician, but as like a human being, coming into myself and feeling like a human and not like a not human
robot.
Like, yeah, exactly. So I think that's kind of what it's about to me, and I think it just represents change, and
that's exciting.
I know that sounds so cliche.
No,
like
not
whatever,
at all.
but that's what it
Well,
feels
I'm
like to me.
stoked. I think even though
Thank
you're
you.
nervous, it's going to be a good step once it's like out of your hands.
Yeah, I think it will be fun.
Well,
it will be.
I would love to know what a little dessert track is.
Dessert.
It can be anywhere from your discography, just like one that maybe means a lot to you or that you'd want people to listen to.
Dessert, like a little cherry on top, would probably be Paris Has Made Me a Man, which
I was
is
hoping you would say that.
which feels like a very special song, and it's a B-side. Like, I wish it could be something else, but I think that's for people to like listen to the project and be like, oh, whoa, that's really interesting. I think, yeah, Paris Has Made Me mad.
Tell me that you understand all the colors I hold in my hand. Tell me that I'm better now. The Paris has made me a man.
What does it mean to be a man made by Paris?
Good question. I don't know, but no, I get like, I become very fascinated by things, like not niche things, because they're not niche. They're not at all. But I find new interests very often. A few months ago, I was really into the deep ocean and very into like, I think it's called long ice. I forget what it's called, but it's like the melting ice from the ice age. That's like,
Whoa.
it's actually crazy.
That's very cool.
I'll tell you about it later. I'm not going to get into it. It's actually really, really cool, but it's also really scary. So I'm not going to get into it. I get really, really into airplanes randomly. Like, there's things that I really get obsessed with, but something I've consistently held on to is artists, like painters' personal lives. Like, I have found, oh, this is embarrassing. I have found, it is. I have found Van Gogh's entire family tree up to today. I put it together with my brother, my little brother, to the point that I found his current only living relatives' SoundCloud. And the only thing on it, can I say this? I don't want to I'm not going to say his name because I honestly don't even remember it, was it's like a dubstep remix of The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. And I was like, this is so Van Gogh of you.
Holy
like
shit.
you have him in your veins.
Whoa.
But anyways,
that blood is strong.
It's strong. Yeah. It's like a perfect song, and to like do a dubstep remix of it is bold.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I was kind of like in this session, and we already wrote a couple songs. Me and this guy, Ari Y2K, who's really awesome and talented. Shout out Ari. And we did, I was like, I don't know what to do. And then he started playing this thing. We're both obsessed with Elliott Smith. So we're kind of like, we had this idea of doing this little like side project called Girliot Smith Between the Boobs. And kind of like a play off like Elliott Smith Between the Bars. Yeah. For those who don't know, that's what it is. And so we were kind of like working on like making songs kind of in that world. And he started playing this, but like with more like a synth kind of pop of synth. We had one of those on the last project, not my friend, that I also did with him, but this one, I was like, okay, I don't know what to write about, and I've always wanted to write about another person, so I'm just going to like transform for a second into Van Gogh, because that's who I obviously know maybe the most about in this entire world. So I just kind of transformed or got to that place, and I just started writing, and I wrote that song in I think 15 to 20 minutes. I think it was one of the fastest songs I've ever written. Wow. Because it kind of just like poured out. Once I like changed my perspective and kind of changed who I was, I found that it just came out so quickly and easily, and it, it was really awesome. So that was really cool. And I think, it was kind of like Paris Has Made Me a Man was kind of about like his travels to Paris to like kind of become a better artist, but it's also about not being like appreciated in your lifetime, which I think a lot of artists of that time too, and all over history had not been appreciated in a lifetime, which isn't like, it's like, oh, it's crazy because like you were the most famous person ever now, and it's just sad, like I guess how much, you know, he really suffered. So I think that's where that came from. And
that is an awesome backstory.
Yeah, it's
not
like kind
at
of
all
random.
what I expected.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I thought maybe you went to Paris or something and you had like a gender crisis.
Yeah,
like that.
no,
that
would
be
be
it
so
too.
much cooler.
I'm down.
No,
That's
literally?
like I was listening to it. I was like, okay, yeah. Tapping into my masculinity.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
That's actually I was wondering what people would think when they first like listened to it, or what they thought that meant.
Yeah,
because like I was answering like an interview question today, and they were like, "What about Paris influenced the song?" And I was like, actually nothing. Like literally nothing.
nothing at all.
Yeah, but
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So kind
glad
of
I can listen again with that.
Yeah, with that
perspective.
lens. Yeah.
Shit. Well, I have a couple of closing questions for you. I would love to know if your music were a candle. What scent would it be?
Okay.
Candles.
You've seen Val sitting here. Val, hi. Val, you've seen my candles.
So good.
I have so many candles.
Really?
It's always
Shit.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
I love them. Like I love like a musky, woodsy kind of like warm, outdoorsy scent, but I also love like a lighter, citrusy, hinoki, like delicious. I'm saying words that I've read on my candles before that I don't really know what they mean.
I didn't know that.
I'm like,
one,
hinoki?
yeah.
I thought you were a mushroom. Kidding. I know. I know. It's a gnocchi. No, I think hinoki's like a wood or something, but doesn't matter.
I believe you.
If I was a candle, like you want me to say the scent? I mean, if it was my music.
If your music was a candle, yeah. Like, what's the vibe? Clearly, you know the vibe.
Yeah, I think maybe like a little bit woodsy.
Okay.
Something woodsy. Maybe like a cedar. Cedar, tobacco. Maybe like a hint of vanilla.
I rock with like a cedar and bergamot.
Oh, I love a bergamot.
Yeah.
I actually freaking love bergamot. You ate with that, actually. I love bergamot. I always thought it was bergamot. No, it's definitely not bergamot. It's bergamot. Bergamot.
Okay.
You say that a lot. I don't like it. Yeah, I want what you have.
Down. There's
You
a great
just answered my
Bath
question.
and Body Works soap in cedar and bergamot.
Oh, that sounds bus.
Buzz.
I love. Love it.
My next question is, what is your favorite sound right now that is not music?
Oh. Honestly, no, that's weird.
You can say weird.
Actually, no. In my therapy, we were doing like group therapy, and it would be like, what is your favorite sound? And I always had like a lot of trouble with that, but I always said it was like putting your hands in like beans, like uncooked beans.
Yeah.
But right now, I'd probably say my dog, actually, she just got her nails cut and she got groomed. So she's like clean now. She's not actually a rat anymore. But no, I take care of her. I take really good care of her. Her nails were a little bit long. She didn't be groomed in like a couple months. But she would walk around, I have wood floors, and it would just be clink, 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 clink all the time. And she has like a little sassy little walk. And I love that sound. I think it's really cute. So
that's a good
maybe,
one.
I think maybe that. Or when my oven is preheated, it goes,
Whoa.
which is
That's
pretty
pretty
epic.
fancy.
Yeah. And it feels like I've made it to the point where I can put my cookies in the oven, which is the only reason why the oven's on, which feels very exciting.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Okay, my very final question
All right.
is I would love to know who your ones to watch are. Who are you listening to that I should be listening to?
Oh my God. Oh, I'm the worst person to ask this to.
You can check your Spotify if
I'm
you
going to
want.
do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what this song's from. I'm not going to play it
Okay.
right now. I think it's pretty recent, but it's from 2016.
That's okay.
But they're still putting out music. This artist called Lady Ray.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar.
Okay, so I only really know one song, but I know from that one song that the rest of the music is so good. It's called Guilty, so listen to that song. It's their top song. Really good. WRAY.
Okay.
I mean, also kind of like an older artist, not older, but like they're still putting out music. Flight, Flyte. Really like Flight. I think they're great, and I think they're really awesome musicians. I watched their like YouTube documentary of them kind of like making the album that they just put out, which was I was like, this is so impressive. I always liked your music, but this is really cool. And then I think maybe Alden is awesome. Kind of like, I don't know, just super talented producer and writer and just all around artist. Those are all three very different worlds, but
even better.
Yeah, I think they're all great. So you should check every single one of them out.
I will.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. That was so fun.
Yeah. And
love a podcast.
Love a pod, and good luck on tour. Good
Thank
luck with
you.
your running journey.
Thanks.
I'm a little bit mad that you said you ran 3.6 miles and I like can't do one.
Oh, no. I can't. Okay. I do like interval running.
No, yeah. No,
I do like 7.6 or like 7.8 miles an hour, and then I like do that for like 70 seconds.
You'll like sprint,
and then I walk for like
20
seconds on like 3 or 4.
That's still running.
Yeah, there's no way I could straight run that.
I like jog at like people walk past me. That's how slow I'm running.
I also find it hard to do that outside, like run outside.
Oh, I do.
Well, it's better. I think a lot of people think it's better and easier, but for me, I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Feel so vulnerable.
We need to work on that.
I know.
Shit.
It is what it is.
Okay, well, once again,
thank you. Okay, yes, this is the last one. Yeah.
No, you're good. I'm Abby Kenna, and this is Ren for Shirt. Ren
for shirt. Ren for shirt. Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.